So here's the next part of our discussion.
Because I'm, obviously my family being Caucasian, me being brown. I was like, I think my mom said I was like 2 or something. And it was very innocent. I'm like, why are you white and I'm brown? Very innocent question from a little kid. And and they always told me about my adoption story. When I was 16, they gave me 2 adoption books. They had saved every piece of paper that went back and forth through, you're talking about the 70s. So it was like telegrams, you know what I mean? It wasn't that digital age. And they gave me those as a gift at 16. But it's what we were talking about. Adoption stays with you the rest of your life. It affects every part of your life. And I'm very pro adoption because there's so many children in this world. I mean, I come from an orphanage, right? There's so many children in this world that need homes. But there's a lot, and I've studied this. There are a tremendous amount of long-term effects for adoptees. There's a tremendous amount of pressure that is put on us to conform, to assimilate, to adapt. A huge part of my life was out of control. I was adopted, but had a religion. My religion was picked out for me. It wasn't, I would say, I'm now in a place of my life that I'm taking control of my life because so much of my life was out of control.
Right.
It is and I have wonderful, incredible parents. They are my parents. I don't call them, but okay, right here, this is a mistake that people do. They're not your adopted parents, they're your parents. So when people come up and they meet, and obviously I don't look like my mother or father, and they come up and we introduce each other and they say, this is my daughter. They say, this is my parents. So please don't make the mistake. Don't introduce don't do that. Because the minute you do that, you're putting somebody outside, right? And so my parents never did. So if you did adopt children, please don't refer to them as, these are my adopted children. No, they're your children. And if you do that, you're going to create this fine line between you and them for the rest of their life. I'm telling you that right now.
So it's really cool. I'm sorry.
No, Alison, please.
It's really cool, Rachel, because my son and I have been reunited.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We actually faxed our paperwork in at the exact same time, which is like,
it's amazing.
It's a sign,
miracle, right? So he calls his mom, but he also calls me mom, my other mom. And then he calls his dad, and he calls his birth father, whom he's never met before, dad, divine adopted, or divine something dad. So he came up with these like
acronyms.
Words.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is I work with a lot of adopted adults, and I am myself also adopted, which I found out when I was 43.
That had to be a huge shock.
So
to address that. That's really important. Go ahead.
It
please.
is. Yeah, carry on, Alison.
Yeah. So, but I was just going to say, like, none of us choose our religion.
No.
None of us choose. We don't. I mean, adopted or not adopted, we don't choose our religion. We're born these little babies, and our parents.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what I'm interested in, because like Rachel, it was obvious that I wasn't the same as my parents, and so it was never an issue. However, my birth mother, because she was forced to give me up and then had a coil put in, she lost her ability to be able to get pregnant. And so after ditching the husband that was cheating on her, that forced her into the arms of another man, she couldn't produce a child, and so she adopted a boy. But she didn't tell that boy Come back for the next part of this discussion.